Hello guys, this is Lily and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Okay. So in this video I will be discussing about the respiratory system. Okay. The functions of the respiratory system. First, it transports air into and out of lungs. Second, it is protecting against inhaled particles. The third, it is in exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, basically about breathing. The components of the respiratory system, the nasal cavity, which passes air through nose. Next is the nose, which passes air through, and the oral cavity, which passes air through as well, and the pharynx. It's a cone-shaped passageway, considered part of the digestive as well as the respiratory system, and connects the respiratory openings to larynx and esophagus. The larynx is also called the voice box, and the trachea is also called the windpipe. It connects to the bronchi as well. Okay, these are the components of the respiratory system. Next is the lungs, main organ of the respiratory system. There is the bronchi, the two tubes inside the lungs which merge to the smaller tubes called the bronchioles. There are the bronchioles, small branching out tubes connects to the tiny air sacs called the alveoli, and the alveoli are tiny air sacs that do the oxidation and exhale of carbon dioxide. There are capillaries, the blood vessels that are embedded in the walls of the alveoli. So guys, these are the components of the respiratory system. These are the organs that you can, organs and tissues that you can find in the respiratory system or respiratory tract. Okay, so there are two divisions of the respiratory system. One is the upper respiratory tract. Okay, so the upper respiratory tract is also called the conducting portion. It consists of all the structures outside of the lungs, which are the nose, the nasal cavity, paranasal sinuses, pharynx, and larynx. Okay, so this is the upper respiratory tract. The second division is the lower respiratory tract. It is the major passages that include the trachea, the windpipe, and within the lungs, the bronchi, the bronchioles, and alveoli. Okay, so this consists the lower respiratory tract of the respiratory system. As you can see here, guys, on this picture, there is this is the respiratory tract, which consists of the upper respiratory tract, composed of the nasal cavity, the pharynx, and the larynx. It is shown in this picture. Okay, the lower respiratory tract, which is composed of the trachea, primary bronchi, and the lungs. So it can be shown, it is shown here in this picture. You just take a look at this. So this is how the respiratory system works, guys. Okay, so just take a look at this. It's the nasal cavity, the pharynx, the larynx, the trachea, pair of lungs, the bronchi, the alveoli, see that, where the air or the oxygen is coming in and out into the respiratory system. It is filtered by the cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by blood. So that's the bronchial. That is the bronchial. Yeah, bronchial, alveolar sacs, the capillaries, the bronchial is that tube like. So just look at this. The movement of molecules, air, gases, blood inside the lungs. Okay, so in this video, it is showed how the respiratory system works. So we just saw the video how the respiratory system works. So it is summarized in here. It's the breathing process. So air is breathed into the nose or mouth. When it enters to the nose, it could spread out by the shell-like thing called conchae. So conchae help humidify the air and traps some of the air particles. It also warms the air, then passes through the pharynx and enters the trachea. Then there is the epiglottis. It has an important function during breathing. It is pointed upward, allowing airflow into the trachea. However, during swallowing, it falls down to prevent food from going to the trachea, directing the food into the esophagus. If food does enter the trachea, the gag reflex is induced to protect the respiratory system. So epiglottis is like a flap, it works to protect the food from getting into the trachea, and it just goes directly into the esophagus. Okay, so air continues down the trachea and enters the bronchi. It's a tube. There are two bronchi. So there's the left and the right. From there, it enters into the smaller bronchioles and finally to the alveoli, which is surrounded by a network of capillaries wherein oxygen enters the alveolar sac and gas exchange occurs. Okay, the capillaries give up their waste carbon dioxide and pick up oxygen. Carbon dioxide is then exhaled to the air passage. The oxygen was inhaled through, and the oxygen picked up by the blood returns to the heart. During this breathing process, the diaphragm is busy as well, contracting as we breathe, in which allow the lungs to expand, and relaxing as we exhale. So that's the role of the diaphragm. There are some ways to maintain or improve the respiratory system. So one is to maintain a healthy weight. Excess weight compresses respiratory muscles and puts more stress on your lungs. So drink more water. Hydration can cause the mucus lining your airways to thicken and become sticky, making you more susceptible to illness. Okay. Next is to consume a healthy diet. Consume foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants such as fruits, veggies, and nuts, which can help reduce inflammation, fight oxidative damage. Okay, so limit exposure to common allergens such as gas mites, pollen, and animal dander. So these are some of the ways to maintain and improve our respiratory system. Also, you must maintain good hygiene. Maintaining good hygiene many respiratory viruses are transmitted by bad hygiene and poor hand wash. Okay, so there's moderate consumption of alcohol. Don't ever consume alcohol. It dehydrates the body and weakens your immune system. Okay, so be active, get more active. Regular aerobic activity help your respiratory system. aerobic activities such as walking. Walking is good form of exercise to give us more activity on into our respiratory system or into our cardio cardiovascular system as well. Okay, so there you have indoor plants. Plants have been shown to help improve air quality. So indoor plants in the house is good, in the office as well is good to have. So there are some respiratory issues that I can discuss to you. So there are minor disorders such as common cold, simply known as cold. Okay, most people have this, especially during winter season. Most people have this cold. Okay, influenza too as well, known as the flu during winter season as well. Acute bronchitis is the inflammation of the bronchi. Okay, it's inside the lung. Pneumonia, it's very common. Inflammation of the bronchioles and alveoli. It's more a deeper problem, pneumonia. Okay, the major disorders of the respiratory system. One is chronic bronchitis, where bronchi become inflamed and narrowed, mainly caused by tobacco smoke. Okay, chronic meaning the inflammation has been there for a while. So it comes, and it goes. Okay, emphysema, where alveoli become overstretched. This is dangerous, emphysema. Okay, it's inside the lungs. The alveoli are the ones being affected, damaged by this disorder. The lung cancer, which is almost 9 out of 10 cases, is caused by tobacco smoke. Lung cancer is very dangerous as well. Okay, so guys, you should be cautious of making your respiratory system healthy, and avoid getting these kind of disorders. It's very dangerous to our health. So there are interesting facts about the respiratory system. One is about half a liter of water is lost through breathing. So yawning brings more oxygen to the lungs, and the right lung is slightly larger than the left. The surface area of the lung is roughly the same size as a tennis court. The breathing rate is faster in children and women than in men. Okay, so these are interesting facts about the respiratory system. Okay, guys, the bottom line of the topic about respiratory system. The respiratory system impacts all overall health. Breathing is kind of important. Okay, so we should eat a healthy diet, be active, maintain good hygiene, and everybody should be happy and be healthy. Okay, guys, so this ends our topic for today. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, and please subscribe and have a great day. See you on my next video.